G'day race fans, it's Adrian here. Welcome back to Justa Ride. G'day guys, and welcome back to the new build, the KTM EXC 250. This was a spontaneous Sunday morning Facebook marketplace purchase. One of those things that you didn't know you needed until you saw it, and then it becomes burningly obvious that I need to acquire this. This is very similar to the KTM that I do own, which is the 250 SX. This is obviously the EXC. For those not in the know, the difference between the two is they're basically the same bike, but the EXC had a stronger stator on it, which could generate enough power to run headlights and blinkers. They since evolved back in the day, you know, in the mid 2000s, I think, to having sort of batteries of their own, the EXCs, but this is a 99 model. The SX I have is a 2000, so real close. So yeah, like I said, I saw this thing on Marketplace and it's like, I gotta have this. I've worked on a similar bike. I've got tools to work on that bike. I used to own a 98 model. This is my claim to fame back in the days. Would have been in the year 2000. The year 2000. The year 2000. I dug this out. I don't have it in a digital sense, but that's my, I mean, you can see that, guys. That's my 98 250 SX back in the year 2000, which inspired my buddy when he rode that to go and buy his brand new 2000 SX, which he blew up, and I took custodianship of. Still his bike, but it's my internals, let's say. Good on you, Sharks. So yeah, this Facebook marketplace purchase just seemed to fit. It was pretty damn cheap, to be honest. Still a bit of coin. It was not going. It was advertised as not working, and also advertised as it needing an ignition coil. I subsequently get there and I meet this young fella, and it's clear to me he's got pretty much next to no idea mechanically, you know, and he says, I bought this bike from a mate 6 months ago, and he had put an aftermarket ignition coil in it and it didn't work, and he had never had it running. So of course the first things I need to check was, number one, is the engine seized? So, you know, Kickstarter, knowing that it's not going to fire, I just want to move the engine around just to feel, and it moved really smoothly. I then take the oil cap off, and we put the oil into the gearbox. You take that off, you can sometimes get a glimpse of a couple of the clutch plates, and you can, and obviously, like I said, I've come into this bike with experience. I've rebuilt a very, very similar engine, so I know what to look for. Take the oil cap off, you can see the clutch plates. Grab the lever on the bar just to see how they actuate, you know, is there oil in it, and it all seemed pretty healthy. Wheel bearings were absolutely shot. The chain was gone, obviously ignition coil. Rear brake, not in existence. But I thought I'd grab it and breathe some life into it. So this is the next project in Justa Ride. It's just as a general consuming buyer beware examples here. In the past, I've obviously done some internet shopping, right? So I've owned this many moons, probably one of my oldest tools, and it's starting to get pretty old and shabby, and I'm thinking I'd like to update that. And I suppose you could put this whole story under the old, oh my God, that price is too good to be true. Believe that, yes. So when I see a pack of 3 of these for like a stupid amount of money, I was like, send them to me. Yeah, okay. That's kids' toys. Okay. Also was I needed a staple gun, and I found on eBay a site that would sell me a staple gun with a pack of staples of various sizes for free. Happy days, I said, I'll have one of those and a number of different staples. What came in the post was just one single pack of staples and nothing else. No gun, no variety of state, just one pack. So, Jesus. I ended up going to Bunnings and just having a buy one straight up, and it came with a pack of staples that fit in it. So the buyer beware ethos, it's not dead yet, guys. Believe in it, yes? And here we are, Maggie old beast it is. This is what I'm looking at on the other side. Have already taken the bar controls off and ready to fill a couple more of those plastic tubs. Taken the headlight assembly off as well, and just denoted where they came from. Little blue tags there. I've got a glove up for this experience because I am expecting it to be filthy. Lovely. KTM 1998 250 EXC, road registered, eh? Strip down. Let's frame this thing. Oh, the first hurdle already. Rear axle. Yeah, punch and a metal hammer. That rear axle did not want to give up its bounty at all, but it did. Oh, the chain is split, the axle was out, the wheel is still jammed in there. Here it comes. Oh, this is nasty. No, it's just good for another 80,000 Ks. No, it's not. Oh. First casualty. A purchase from the Toowoomba swap meet that you all witnessed me go to. Just broke the end off of it. Don't I just have a new bit of metal to put in the metal pile of things just there. Really hope that bike stays there. I don't think it's not going to. That really sucks. Hang on, baby. Level out. No, tight. It's a tight workshop here, guys. Don't worry. It's all good. I'll get those forks off and things will get a lot lighter. I'm busted ass front wheel. I noticed both of the bearings in the front and the back wheel were gone. That's coming off on the carburetor. Alright, that's attached for a little while longer. Nothing sus about that, was there? Right, the light's up. That should sit there like this. Okay. Yeah, at this point I certainly have already considered, why don't I start with the wheels? Oh, anyway. There we go. Dodgy brothers. Let's have a little rethink of this, shall we? I'm not going to record this. What? Nothing that a white bucket done fix. Happy days. They seem alright. Dirty as hell. There's some oil in it. Look in here. Safety bucket. The stanchions are nice, you know. That's where the money is when you start having to repair that surface. You're screwed. Nothing but a pair of oil seals won't fix on this thing though. Brembo brakes, that bend breaks my heart. Because you know that cast aluminium, man, ain't, as much as you want to try and bend it back, it's never going to work. I suppose, isn't it? Original grease. Wow. That's freaking amazeballs. Yeah. Okay. They've been waiting for it. I've been teasing you. Get it off. Alright. Look at that action. There you go. Just rip it in half like a bloody prawn. Let's get that shock out. And this is going into the shock. Oh, the bump stock is just dissolving as I touch it, as is the air filter in that subframe that I just yanked off. That's a bloody crime scene in that airbox, let me tell you. Oh yeah, roller disintegrating. There it comes. There she is. That's busted ass. I did notice in my initial observations of this motorcycle before purchase that I had no rear brake. Yeah, that's because that's dry. Fool. Carburetor is now free. Sizable. Oh. How's the actuation? Oh, drum like. Thank you very much. She tight. Oh. It's getting messy back here, people. It still had some bloody coolant in it. That was a complete surprise to me. Complete surprise. That moving? Yeah, it's moving. Got it. Alright. One radiator. One wiring harness covered in coolant. Lots of bloody mess here. I'm still connected here to the head. There you go. Then you'll come out there. That's an overflow. Okay. I think I've got about 7% of what was in the bike in the container. And the other 93% is on the ground. In and around the bike. Oh, it's still coming out. Oh, prostate problem. Better than that. I'll put that for now. I don't even think the safety bucket's in use anymore. That's not. Okay. Have a go at the bloody mess we've got here, guys. Alrighty, so grab up that there. Like leaving dessert till last. Yes? This genuinely is my favourite tool. And this is this tool's application. Spring. Well, that one's already hanging. And there isn't even a third one. So that's it. One spring. Ah. There's the other spring that should be connected to it. Oh, this is going to take some work, isn't it? Okay. So we'll just try and refurb this. Oh, have a go at it. It is hasn't been cleaned in 20 years. That's heartbreaking. Haha! 250! Oh, that was a little harder than I had expected. A lot of really old, crappy, dirty bolts. Nothing that a bit of heat didn't fix that. Yeah, boy. Okay, for visual reference only. Clearly not the EXC that I just stripped, right? This here's the SX. Like I said, they are of almost the same ilk. They really are similar. There's not much difference. So it's kind of nice to have this bike as a bit of a visual reference to, you know, what I just stripped down. And in the processes of stripping down, let me just get a pointer. I'm going to draw your attention to a wee black box up here on steerer tube, the CDI unit EXC. That was not there. So I think there's a few more bigger ignition issues at play than just the coil. My understanding is that of a CDI unit is sort of the brains of, you know, understanding throttle position and engine speed to relative to spark and all stuff that's a bit beyond me. But yeah, I think that's probably why old mate had a bit of trouble starting it, because it didn't have a brain. So I'm sure they're on the market. You know, I know they're not going to be easy to find. This is a '99 model bike, and I've since been to my local KTM dealer, and that is beyond the cut-off of their record keeping. Crikeys. Building another vintage bike by the looks of it. But this one will have all the bells and whistles and be as tight as a drum, as tight as a bike that was made last year. That's the intent, as I did with this. They're really, really simple engines to work with. So at this stage, it's now framed, and it's just a process of going through and cleaning the bits up, and then think about stripping that engine, and you know, the subsequent rebuild. Look for the problems that I know that exist, try and fix them problems. Yeah, you know the story, guys. Episode 1. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Be safe, be happy.